Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to the class, guys. I hope you all must be doing really great and must be revising the concepts which we have already seen. This is a unit number 5. We are proceeding in our unit Soil Science and Nutrient Management. We have reached up to lecture number 6. And we have tried to cover in the first lecture. Quick recap, we are doing processes and factors of soil formation. I hope you have not forgotten the fundamental pedogenic processes. Fundamental processes and pedogenic processes under that zonal category. I hope you have not forgotten. Then soil physical, then chemical and biological properties, mineral organic constituents of soil, their role in maintaining soil productivity, soils of India. Then we have tried to understand problem soils and their reclamation. In the last class, we have tried to cover essential plant nutrients. This category we have tried to cover. And other beneficial elements in soil plants I have gave you as a homework, long-term homework, right? Now, this is not yet completed, guys. Essential plant nutrient, I told you that NPK, I'll be telling you in detail. So this connection I'll be making you with these two topics now. Okay, that is losses of nitrogen, or don't study the syllabus as it is, I am saying. Study from here, nitrogen fixation, then how nitrogen is getting lost, and then nitrogen use efficiency in submerged rice soils. Then we'll try to see efficient phosphorus and potassium. So these two topics are today's agenda will be to cover these two topics, and by doing this you will get extra knowledge. Your knowledge will be reinforced about NPK, which we have seen as a primary nutrient or macronutrient under essential plant nutrients category. I hope you must have revised this, because on the similar lines we are going to cover this today on. Now, as usual, before moving ahead, our PYQ analysis should be there of this topic, losses of nitrogen, and this topic we are trying to see. So recently in 2024, they have directly asked about nitrification. This is as it is we have studied in class, guys. You don't believe me? वैसे तो everybody who is studying diligently must have studied this, because this is the topic which has to be done under this particular portion. But I have explained this also very elaboratively in the previous batches too. Right? So directly question has come from in 2024, you will be seeing. That is why I am saying again, 80% of the, try to keep tap on these syllabus line, guys. Cut these syllabus like this and have content not more than 500 words. In the examination, you have to write 250 words. Understand this. That's why there is a difference between, again I am saying, MSc, PhD and UPSC. Whole different ball game. Yahan se you are going to get into civil services, IAS, IPS or IFOS also, Indian Forest Service exam, state. It is a different ball game. Doing MSc and PhD, you are going to be an agriculturist. Over here, you are not going to be agriculturist. You try to understand. Okay, so this we have to understand in this way, because whatever I am saying, the repeaters or those who have written means they must be understanding me as it is, right? They will not be having any second thoughts in their mind. But the first attempters, freshers, don't understand this very easily, guys. Okay, so for fresher, I am stressing this fact specifically, that you try to understand the nature of the examination, because sometimes it gets late. That's why in UPSC you are seeing that average number of attempts are 3 to 4 in order to get selection. Okay, but you can reduce this significantly. Why brother and sister of a civil servant are able to crack this examination in 1 or 2 attempts? Why it is happening? Because they are having the right guidance, right? You try to understand that. So these two are my topics for today. Let us see how many we will be able to complete. I was telling you how this question has been asked. So this question has been asked from nitrogen fixation, guys. Okay? Write down the importance of nitrification. This nitrification process they have asked directly. They give an account of merits and demerits of nano fertilizers with suitable examples. Now this type of question sometimes come. Though you don't add nano fertilizer over here, because fertilizers will be understanding under the category of biofertilizers or integrated nutrient management. That is next class. Okay? Discuss primary pathways of gaseous nitrogen losses from soil and the factors affecting nitrogen losses. So over here, can you see the syllabus line, losses of nitrogen soil? That means what they are asking, factors affecting losses of nitrogen soil and primary pathways. Directly they have asked. In nitrogen fixation, nitrification, they are asking. Okay. Then over here, explains various type of nitrogenous fertilizers, briefly describe the role and benefit of neem coated urea and nano urea in improving the nitrogen use efficiency. So over here, nitrogen use efficiency, now you are seeing that they have asked in this way. Okay. How to enhance nitrogen use efficiency? Again, in transplanted rice, they are asking. To submerged rice, it is written over here, but they are asking transplanted rice, and this is one and the same thing only. Then why does fertilizers nitrogen have low plant use efficiency? You are seeing over here. Explain the ways to improve the efficiency of fertilizer nitrogen. Yeah, what changes? Again, they are asking the same thing, right? Symbiotic and asymbiotic nitrogen fixation they have asked. Again, neem coated urea and release of nitrogen. This I will be telling you. So you are understanding overall. Sir, first of all, we have to understand, or I'll make you understand this nitrogen fixation. Then I'll be making you understand this losses of nitrogen in soil. Then nitrogen use efficiency, how you will be increasing. This is the agenda of today's class, guys. Sit back and keep your notebook and pen ready with you. Okay? Use the pause mechanism whenever I'll be suggesting you. So over here we are going to understand first of all about nitrogen, guys. Nitrogen, very, very important. I'll be picking this up from basics. Don't worry about it. Okay, nitrogen. Why nitrogen is very important? First of all, you must be understanding why nitrogen. Nitrogen in the atmosphere, or in the atmosphere, chodo. First of all, tell me how it is present in nature. You will see as N it is present or as N2. N2 it is present because it has to fulfill its valency and it is triple bond N. And like this, you will be seeing the N2 over here. Okay, this is the compound form you will be seeing of nitrogen. So in this form, it is present in the atmosphere. And in atmosphere, you must be understanding that how much amount of percentage it is present in atmosphere. 78%. Rest 21% is about oxygen. This you all must be knowing. Atmosphere. Atmosphere chapter class 11th NCERT of geography. So when you will be studying geography over there, you will be seeing the composition of atmosphere. In composition of atmosphere, you have to learn that, or otherwise also this is a general knowledge and everybody must be knowing this. So now this much amount of nitrogen is present in the nature or atmosphere. Are humans, animals and plants are taking nitrogen directly? Are we inhaling nitrogen? No. Right, then how and what importance of nitrogen you are seeing, because all of these structures are made up of what? Cells, and cells are getting functional because of nucleus. And in nucleus, you are getting the DNA and RNA, which is building block of the whole body structure. Because DNA and RNA are carrying messages, right? And these genes are converting these messages into proteins, and these proteins are building up our body. I hope slowly you must be understanding this. Because dinucleic or deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid are containing nitrogenous bases. Nitrogenous bases. No need to remember this right now. Paper 2 is all about. I'll be opening up this complete cell in a non-biology manner. Okay, that I'm saying to the non-science people. Don't worry about it. You don't need any science background for this. So whatever this DNA, RNA is made up of, it is because of this nitrogenous basis only. So this nitrogen, where this nitrogen is coming from? Are we inhaling nitrogen, 78% nitrogen from the atmosphere? This much abundance it is over there. No, right? So how we are getting it? By food. And food is basically what? Plant. So how plants will intake this nitrogen? This is also one question. Understanding, guys? देखो food से तो मिल रहा है, humans and animals को getting nitrogen by eating food. But this food is nothing but plant. So how this plant is getting nitrogen? By nitrogen fixation. Over here you have to understand nitrogen fixation. And after eating, humans and animals will be getting died down, decomposition will be happening, and then reverse denitrification you will be seeing. Nitrogen will again be coming back. So over here you must be understanding, sir, that we have to understand first of all nitrogen cycle too. you have to understand first of all nitrogen cycle over here. Okay, how nitrogen is existing. So simultaneously, I am telling you when I will be teaching you nitrogen cycle, your CS3 environment, it is completed. There also you have to understand nitrogen cycle. In your science and tech, you also have to understand nitrogen cycle, guys, right? So this you must be understanding, guys. Over here, let me draw the ground. Okay, this is your ground. Okay, and let me draw a beautiful plant for you all. ये एक प्लांट की फॉर्मेशन हमने कर दी. देखो इतना ही ब्यूटीफुल प्लांट बनाएगा. बाकी पेपर 2 में आई विल बी टीचिंग यू. ठीक है, द फिजियोलॉजी ऑफ प्लांट. अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज अ प्लांट एंड दीज आर रूट्स. ठीक है, नाउ N2 is present in the atmosphere. Now how I have told you that humans and animals over here, humans and animals will be eating this particular plants getting nitrogen in their bodies. But how plants are utilizing this nitrogen? Plants are utilizing this nitrogen in the soil. From the soil they are taking up, right? So in the soil, these are the roots, and let me draw the soil over here. These are the soil. Okay, these soil particles. I am drawing the macroscopic views. These are your SSC. Now in soil, I have told you that nitrogen is taken up but in ionic form. Nitrogen is not taken up. N2 is not directly taken up as N2. N2 has to be converted. Now this conversion of N2 in the soil is known as the nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen will get fixed over here. And this nitrogen fixation N2 will be converted into NH4 positive. I have told you, remember, nitrogen last class, NH4 positive in the soil. And this NH4 positive will be taken up by these process I will be telling you. And the taking up this process is known as by the roots, is known as or by the plants. This ammonia will be taken up by the plants. It is known as assimilation. Understand it very carefully. Okay, assimilation. Okay, now what happens? Sometimes this over here ammonia does not convert or does not directly assimilate but convert into nitrate. ठीक है, 2 नेगेटिव और सिंगल नेगेटिव ही आएगा यहाँ पर जस्ट. ठीक है, and sometimes it get converted into, or first of all it will be forming your nitrite, and then it will be forming your nitrate. See, it is very easy to remember this 3 or 2. Whenever I am saying nitrite, that means tri means 3 should come over here, but 3 will not come, 2 will come. This is how you will remember. So this is your nitrite. Okay, this is your nitrite. And this is your nitrate. And the process of converting this ammonia into this nitrite and nitrate is known as nitrification. This we have to understand very deeply. Don't worry about nitrogen fixation. I'm just telling you what is happening. Process. Cycle I am telling you. Fixed by the plant. Plant will be taking it. Plant will be eaten up by humans and animals. Well and good. Okay. But this cycle has to be completed too. Now I have told you nitrogen ionic form is ammonia. Plants will be taking either in this form or nitrite form, nitrate. So this is also getting taken up by plants. So this is also assimilation. Now sometimes it will directly convert into the atmospheric nitrogen and went back to the atmosphere. It is known as denitrification. Now these denitrifications happen by some bacteria. This nitrification happened by some bacteria. We have to remember it. In the last batch also for 2024, I taught the same thing, guys. In nitrogen fixation also you will be finding it. Some bacteria will be needed for it to happen. So this process is very important. If nitrogen will not fix, how we will be having humans and animals will be having nitrogen bases. And then this humans and animals will be dying. This plant will be dying over here. Decomposition will be happening. And after that, again, conversion of ammonia will be happening over here. Understanding the cycle, I have tried to show you by drawing myself. I could have easily shown you on the chart too, or on the already drawn paper too, but now I'll be showing you on the figure. Okay? So see this cycle over here. Understand there's a nitrogen cycle over here. यहाँ मैं focus करवा रहा हूँ, नीचे focus. So over here you can see, come over here, atmospheric nitrogen. Atmospheric nitrogen will be nitrogen getting fixed by nitrogen fixing bacteria. No need to see this right now. I'll make you remember this. Okay? Nitrogen fixation will be happening and it will be getting converted into directly into nitrates, or sometime you will be seeing into nitrites, or sometimes you will be seeing into ammonia. Right? And then it will be taken up by the plant, that is called as assimilation. See, either nitrate form or ammonium ion over here you can see. So ammonia will be converted into ammonium ion too. Don't remember this diagram, remember the diagram I have drawn. Sometimes ammonia will be converted into nitrite over here. This is one process, and they will be converted into nitrite. So this process I have told you. Try to understand, guys. Only this try to understand. Ammonium ion, you are seeing how it has come by ammonia. Okay? By nitrifying bacteria, nitrogen fixation happened, ammonia emerged. From ammonia you will be seeing nitrite, yes, and then nitrates. Nitrates will be either taken up by the plants directly. Ammonia will be directly taken up by the plants. This is process known as assimilation. Or it can convert into over here atmospheric nitrogen. How? By denitrifying bacteria. So nitrites, ammonia, and then it will go again. So the whole process is getting changed over here, guys. Just wait. Everything you will be understanding. So what is happening? Either it is getting assimilation, right? Otherwise, what is happening? This nitrate will be getting converted into nitrite. Then it is getting converted into NH3. And then ammonia will be getting converted into N2. Or NH4 is nothing. How it has come? By NH3 only. Ammonia. This is ammonium ion. Everything we will be studying right now. What is this nitrogen fixation? This is the broad view which I am trying to give you. Okay? So now you must be understanding this nitrogen cycle, guys. Okay, sometimes what happens, nitrates can be formed by different processes. What this diagram is wanted to show you. Nitrates, one process of getting formed is nitrogen fixation. Second, directly it can form by the weathering process. This is also one way. Okay. Third, by the lightning atmosphere, by lightning the nitrogen breaks down into nitrates. This can also happen. So you are understanding how many ways nitrates can be formed. 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here. And then nitrites will be converting into atmospheric nitrogen by denitrification process. And this nitrates will be converted into this by nitrification process. I hope you must be understanding it. Don't worry. In a better way, in the last, when we will be reaching up to the last of the lecture, you will be understanding it in much better way. Okay. Alright, guys. Let us see now the actual content. Now we are starting our nitrogen fixation basically, because this I have to give you. This syllabus line I have to give you. This was the background in which you have to remember things. Okay. So let us see this now. Nitrogen fixation, guys. Nitrogen fixation. Now nitrogen fixation happens in nature by 3 processes. One is your physiochemical process. Now in nature, physiochemical process happens only 5%. Means it is not a biggest, it is not having the larger portion of converting nitrogen into the usable form of nitrogen. It is happening just 5%. When I am saying physiochemical, means it is happening majorly by during rains by lightning. This much amount of thunder is needed. Lightning, thunder like situation may, what you will be finding, the atmospheric nitrogen N2 and triple bond N, very inert gas, very tough gas to break. It needs lightning to break their bonds. So this N2 is getting converted into nitrates, because ultimately nitrates are getting utilized by the plants, by the these plant roots only. Okay? Because I have shown you over here, nitrates are getting utilized over here, or ammonia over here, right? Nitrates are getting utilized or ammonia is getting utilized. So nitrates, it gets formed and plant utilize this. But this is not the major portion. Only 5% happen by this. Then what are the other processes by which this nitrogen is getting fixed? The major portion is your guys biological fixation. This is the way how nitrogen is getting utilized by plant, biological fixation, and this we have to study in greater detail. Third process is your industrial process. Industrial process. And industrial process comes where fertilizers are being made, because fertilizers we add, then plants uptake the fertilizers. So this Haber-Bosch method over here we will be seeing. Haber-Bosch. Over here nitrogen is converted into ammonia. Ammonia will be taken up by the plants because ammonia and nitrates are getting taken up by the plants. Understanding? So in nitrogen fixation, can you call physiochemical process? Listen again. Can you call physical chemical process and industrial process as non-biological fixation methods? Because this is the biological fixation method. Biological fixation method means over here living agents, microorganisms will be utilized to convert nitrogen into ammonia and nitrates. So because of the use of these living agents, I am calling it as biological fixation. See, I have already told you the class composition. I have freshers who are agri graduate, non-agri. Non-agri may be science background, non-science background. That's why I have to teach elaboratively, keeping in mind those students who are having non-agri, non-science background too. Because this is very easy to understand. Now, in the examination point of view, this is the academic point of view. In the examination, have questions come from here or industrial process? Never. The questions, if they have asked, have been from biological fixation, and I'll be showing it to you too. But just after some time. Okay. Now let us move forward, guys. And first of all, we'll try to see physiochemical process. What is this physiochemical process? The way I am teaching you this, and limited content I am teaching you this over here, and understand in this way, because questions have not come from here. If you will try searching down on your own, you will waste 1 or 2 hours and you will get nothing out of it. Okay? So trust me and trust the content I am teaching you. Physiochemical process. Okay? In the physiochemical process, what is happening? सबसे पहले atmosphere में nitrogen is present. Now, in the atmosphere, nitrogen reacts with what? Nitrogen reacts with O2, and it will form nitrous acid, or we call it nitric acid, nitric or nitric oxide. Okay, nitric oxide is formed. If you will add 2 over here, the equation will be balanced. Now, this nitric acid in the atmosphere, because in the presence of oxygen, this is getting formed. Now, can plants utilize this? No. Then this 2 nitric oxide will again react with oxygen and will be forming NO2. And we call them nitrogen peroxide. Is plant is utilizing in this form? No. Nitrates or ammonia should be there. Then NO2 over here will be reacting with water during the rain time, because we are seeing it in the lightning times, right? So when NO2 will be reacting with H2O, it will be giving you what? Acid rain. And in acid rain, I have told you HNO3 is present and H2SO4 is present. HNO3 you have got from here. Or sometimes it will give you HNO2. This is a nitrous acid. And this is nitric acid. And this nitric acid is the cause of what? Your acid rain. Now this HNO3, and I have told you, देखो, this HNO3 will drop down to the surface. This is coming to the surface. Acid is coming to the surface. And in the surface, soil surface, what micronutrients we are having? Ca2+, Mg2+. Now this will react with what? HNO3. And what ultimately it will be giving you? It will be giving you nitrates, guys. and ultimately these nitrates will be utilized, because this is the utilization form of, or assimilation by the plants will be done in the form of nitrates. That is, from nitric oxide we have reached to the nitrates, and these equation you have to learn as it is. You can write something about it over here too, that when the HNO3 will drop down to the ground, CO2 plus and Mg2 plus will be abundant in the soil, and they will react with HNO3 to give you nitrates. Now let me show you the chart. Over here you see the chart, guys. Okay, N2O2, lightning, because of lightning what will be happening? Nitric oxide, because energy is needed over here to break the bond of N2. Nitric oxide converting into NO2, nitrogen peroxide. It is getting converted into HNO3 or nitrous oxide. Then HNO3, further you can leave this particular part. HNO3 will convert or will react with Ca or Mg over here. देखो CaO और MgO की presence में रहेंगे, right? So Ca over here will convert into calcium nitrate, and in the soil this calcium nitrate will break down into, और यहाँ पर सिर्फ नेगेटिव ही आएगा. This HNO3 will sometimes react with ammonia, and it will become ammonium nitrate. So over here NH4 positive or NO3 negative. So this is a very usable form to HNO3, but this is happening. If this can happen 90%, then we don't need anything biological fixation. But this is happening only 5%. That's why we need other methods of fixing the nitrogen. The major method of fixing the nitrogen is a biological method, which is happening in nature as it is. Okay, or sometimes nitrous oxide is mixing with ammonia to give you ammonium nitrite, and from here ammonia will get utilized. So this you have to remember if ever they will ask the question on non-biological nitrogen fixation, but they will not. Understanding, guys? Now you see the industrial process also, guys. This also have not been asked in the examination. Okay, this is also less important. Industrial process. Industrial process is giving you what, if I say? So industrial process. This way. So industrial process is basically giving you fertilizers through industries. These fertilizers are nothing but containing your nutrients. And over here we are talking about nitrogen as a nutrient. So I am talking about nitrogen fertilizers that are not generating naturally, but are generated by the factories, industries, which is further helping us in our efficiency, improving the efficiency of our agriculture. More and more production is happening because of this fertilizers, guys, right? So let us understand some of the nitrogen fertilizers over here too. Also, you try to understand that how these fertilizers, overview I am telling you, not in detail we will go, how these fertilizers are being basically created. You know, from this industrial process, I have told you that fertilizers are being formed. So the most common type of fertilizers of nitrogen, what you have heard, is of urea. You must have heard, right? The urea. So how this urea is created basically? Yeah, it is a long drawn process, or it is a simple process too, but it needs the whole process for it to complete, right? Urea, and the most important other fertilizers of nitrogen is your ammonium nitrate, the most used one. There are many. These are the most used one. I am just telling you how they are being created. And then there is a combination of urea ammonium nitrate too, and sometimes we call it as UAN. Yeah, understand it very carefully. So what factories does, or how these factories are built up? What we are trying to do, we are putting up one factory over here. Suppose this is a factory. Again, what we are going to do, we are going to take from one pipeline, we will be creating for air. We will be getting air. And what is present in the air, guys? N2. So we will be utilizing N2 over here. And what we will be doing? One more pipeline which will be having methane. Yes, that's why fertilizer production is causing greenhouse gases emission. Why? Because over here methane is being used. So if this is a factory, let me broaden the factory over here. What is happening in this particular factory, और क्या बनने वाला है इस process के अंदर? So basically N2 is reacting with CH4 Why? To give you the product as NH3, and NH3 is nothing but your ammonia. Now this is the ammonia plant. This is the ammonia factory. Ammonia is formed over here. This is not urea. Now this ammonia, in the second complex, it will be mixed with CO2 and it will be forming your urea. And what is urea? What is the formula for urea? CONH2 twice. This is the formula of urea, because in this urea carbon dioxide is there. But when after for giving it to the market, these urea is converted into these small pellets, right? And this is packeted and then this is supplied over. So this is the process of urea formation, or you can say this is the process of urea fertilizer formation, nitrogen fixation, nitrogen industrial process. I have told you about urea. From exam perspective, it is not important, but you should know. Yes, this is one thing you have understood over here. Also, I have told you that urea is utilized the most. Ammonium nitrate is also utilized. Ammonium nitrate, you can form it by the physiochemical process also. NH4 NO3, 2 negative over here you will be getting, right? NH4 NO3 twice over here you will be getting. So NH4 positive or NO3 negative, this is also highly utilized, ammonium nitrate. So let me tell you how ammonium nitrate is being formed. So for you, this ammonium formation, you come over here, guys. Dekho, ammonium nitrate formation. One more fertilizer I am telling you. Ammonium fertilizer, you need one factory, one complex as this. Over here you have to add again air you will be getting N2, and यहाँ पर methane gas. That's why methane supply is most crucial. That's why your international relationship, you try to understand why methane supply we are taking from Russia and other West Asian countries. CH4 methane will be coming from here, but it will be forming ammonia. So we need ammonium fertilizer, right? Ammonium nitrate fertilizer, ammonium nitrate. That means nitrate is also needed. Now this ammonia, one more step it will go through. Ammonia will be reacting with atmospheric oxygen to give me what? To give me HNO3, and this is the step to give me nitric acid. So there will be one plant which will be forming nitric acid, and then this nitric acid will be again combined with ammonia over here plus ammonia, and ultimately giving you what? NH4NO3, ammonium nitrate, and it will be then dried up and it will be packaged, right? And then it will be supplied in the market. This is how you have formed ammonium fertilizers. In simple step, I am telling you guys. Let me show you the layout of a factory too. See, this is the modern plant of some West Asian country only. So over here you will see ammonia will be generated. Now this ammonia, after that ammonia, if it is combined with CO2, then it will be forming urea. If this ammonia is converted to nitric acid, and then nitric acid is again mixed with ammonia, giving you ammonium nitrate. I hope you are listening to me very carefully. And this is one UAN plant. Like this, these factories are installed, guys, and supplied, right? So see this, there are many fertilizers. Important one I have told you, urea, and rest of the things you will be knowing in the lectures. Urea, 46% is the most widely used dry nitrogen fertilizers. Once applied to the soil, urea is converted to what? Ammonia, which reacts with water to form ammonium. Ammonia will be reacted with the water to giving you ammonia, and ammonia is utilized within 2 to 3 days. Some volatilization. What is volatilization? Don't worry. In this lecture only, I will be telling you volatilization of ammonia. In losses, we have to understand that. Don't worry about it. Right time, you will be getting it. So first learn it, then read the PDF, guys. Ammonia is there. Ammonium nitrate is there. 33% nitrogen is present over here. Ammonium sulfate is there. Okay, calcium nitrate is there. Now what is happening basically? You try to understand. I have told you ammonium nitrate is formed. If I am supplying sulfur, then ammonium sulfate can be formed. If I am supplying calcium by dolomite, then calcium nitrate can be formed. Potassium nitrate can be formed. Ultimately nitrate we are giving it from here, right? So this is one thing you can understand. Just read out this PDF, right? So over here in this diagram, or in this flowchart, I have taught you physiochemical process, industrial process, which are of least importance because they have never been asked. Once they have asked about what are the different type of nitrogenous fertilizers, once, right? But most of the times they are asking you about biological fixation out of this topic which we are seeing, guys, over here. Losses of nitrogen in soil, nitrogen use efficiency, and nitrogen fixation. Means this topic, whole topic, in a year you will see one question from here. Either they will be asking you about this, either this, or either this. Not all the three. Try to understand in this way. So that means in the upcoming exam, they will be either asking you one of the three parts. So just check the previous year question. If in the last year they have asked about nitrogen fixation, you can also leave this particular topic. You can focus more on these two things. This is how you have to prepare in the D-Day when few days are left. I'll be telling you the strategies, how you have to cover the agriculture syllabus in short time. I'll be telling you. Don't worry about it. Okay? So, but now we have to come to the major portion, that is biological fixation, which is of utmost importance. This you have to understand. So now you see the third category or the middle one category, that is your biological nitrogen fixation. Biological nitrogen fixation. Now let me show you the picture, or let me just draw the simple. This is your plant over here. Here, this is your plant over here. These are the root of plants. Now in biological nitrogen fixation, ultimately nitrogen fixation means N2 into ammonia. This is what needs to be happening. In biological, B word is for biological, means living agents are needed. And in living agents, you need certain microorganisms. So in the soils of these particular plant, you will be finding, and in this particular plant, this is basically a leguminous plant I have taken. And you will see that there will be free living bacteria over here. Not free living, but you will be seeing bacteria will be present in this leguminous plant. And why these bacteria will come towards this particular roots? Because over here, these leguminous plant roots releases certain enzymes, chemicals, and that is also known as a flavonoid. These are the type of chemical which is released by whom? Roots. And by this chemicals, these bacterias, and this is the bacteria, yellow part is your bacteria, and it is basically especially rhizobium. You must have heard this. Rhizobium will attract and will follow this particular chemicals, and they will come towards what? Come towards these roots. And this type of movement is known as chemtatic movement. The movement because of chemical. Now these bacteria will come near the roots over here like this. And what they will do? Now they are going to play certain major role. So over here now you have seen the roots picture. Now the roots, and over here you are seeing these bacteria that are attached to it. Now what will happen? Now these roots will curl, guys. These roots will start curling, and it will be enclosing these bacteria like this, like this, like this. And this is known as nodule formation. Nodule formation. And what they are doing over here, bacteria is living in the presence of these root nodules. That means bacteria must be feeding on these root nodules, and these root nodules must be feeding on this bacteria. So this type of relationship is called symbiotic. Means both are benefiting from each other. Now during this root nodules, what these bacteria are doing, they are converting this nitrogen into ammonia, guys. Here this nitrogen fixation is happening, and this ammonia is released over here, and then is ammonia is utilized in the ammonium ion form by the plants. That's why you must have heard that if you want to increase the nitrogen content in your soil, grow leguminous crops, because leguminous crops are doing in this root nodules, they are doing this nitrogen fixation. Now this equation which I have drawn, which is happening in the nitrogen which is happening in the nodules N2 is NH3. This is not very simple, guys. Let me show you the equation over here. This is the equation. Will you remember this? I'll not recommend right now, don't remember. But N2 is converting into NH3 in the presence of magnesium. So the magnesium importance you are understanding. So magnesium is important in the biological nitrogen fixation too. So CAMGS secondary nutrient. Out of this Mg, one line you have got from here. Now let me show you guys over here. Just wait. See over here. Now let me make you remember this. No need to remember, no chemistry is needed. But this one equation is important. Like you can learn this as it is. Okay, this N2 molecule is getting 8 hydrogen positive ions. This is getting 8 electrons getting freed too. These 16 ATPs are getting combined together to give you this NH3 and hydrogen. This equation you have to write. Now what this equation will become? N2 plus 8 H positive plus 8 electron plus 16 ATP, ultimately giving you NH3 plus H2 in the presence of magnesium. This is the problem which is happening in these root nodules. Now let me show you. These are the particular part and these are forming nodules. Over there nodules, bacteria are living. Bacteria are feeding upon this and they are fixing the nitrogen over here. Let me show you another diagram too. See over here, guys. 1. Rhizobia attached to root here. Why they are attaching to root here? You know that. So these rhizobium are coming over here. See over here, guys. This must be hiding, right? Infection head means the rhizobium has been attached and now this will be curling up, forming a package enlarged and forming a what? This nodule, and this large nodule will be doing their work of nitrogen fixation. Understanding? So what you have understand over here is your biological nitrogen fixation. This is not yet complete, guys. B and F, biological nitrogen fixation, is of two types. One is of symbiotic type, symbiotic relationships, like you have seen right now. And one is of asymbiotic relationship, asymbiotic nitrogen fixation. In symbiotic, both are utilizing each other. That is also divided, that in what nodules are getting formed. Like example, you have seen rhizobium in leguminous plants. Understanding? This was the example I was teaching you right now, that nodules are formed because of rhizobium bacteria. And under this symbiotic relationship, nitrogen fixation is. Sometimes you will be finding that no nodules will be formed, but still nitrogen fixation will be happening. So this is an exceptional case. And this you will be seeing in a Caswarna, is a type of tree and will be basically in a symbiotic relationship with Frankia. Understanding? So this is when no new nodules are getting formed. Nodules are getting formed. This is generally happen in leguminous plants. This is all right. Asymbiotic nitrogen fixation. Asymbiotic nitrogen fixation means यहाँ पर they are free living bacteria available. Free living bacteria. So these free living bacteria can either be heterotrophs or autotrophs. Heterotrophs means those feed upon other. Autotrophs means those feed on their own, right? Just wait. Understanding, guys? Let me tell you again by the already made diagram by me. See over here. Physiochemical you have seen, biochemical you are seeing right now. See this over here, guys. This is non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Fixation by heterotrophs. In this aerobic condition, if they are fixing it, then we have example as Azotobacter. This is your microorganism, and Bijarnica over here. Anaerobic in anaerobic condition, if they are doing Clostridium. Example you have to notice over here. Fixation by autotrophs over here you will be seeing by Azotobacter and Azoospermillium. Right? Let me show you another diagram too. Just wait. See over here. The fixing of free nitrogen of the soil by all organisms living freely or outside the plant is known as a non-biological fixation. By bacteria nitrogen fixation it is known as. So free living non-photosynthetic anaerobic condition में what you are seeing Azotobacter and Dextria. Sorry, aerobic condition. Anaerobic condition you are seeing Clostridium. Free living photosynthetic nitrogen fixing bacteria, this is also you can take. And chemosynthetic nitrogen bacteria, this is also you can remember. Remember the names guys over here, nothing else. Just see their images once. Okay, how they look. Okay, and this is their job. What is their job? To fix the nitrogen over here. See the PPT now to guys over here. You will be finding biological nitrogen fixation, how it is happening over here. You will be finding free living diazotrophs. Diazotrophs are basically these are nitrogen fixing organism called molecular nitrogen eaters, right? So diazotrophs, that's why they are free living, means they are non-symbiotic or they are with symbiotic relationships. So Clostridium, Azotobacter, Dexia, Azospirillum, you will be seeing, we have read it as non-symbiotic. So table you will find over here. These are symbiotic diazotrophs. Okay, sorry, over here these are non-symbiotic, free living. These are symbiotic, with somebody they are attached. So Rhizobium I have told you over here. Rhizobium you will be getting, Rhizobium family you will be getting Rhizobium, right? So over here you will getting all these particular C. One more, Azola, Anabina, Frankia, and I have told you with Frankia that Casuarina also come over here, or Alnus crispa is a tree. Okay, fungi, cyanobacteria, nostoc, Gunnera you will be finding over here. Okay. Symbiotic nitrogen fixation, how it happens I have explained you. Just read this down how it is happening. Okay, let me show you in detail. Also I have gone over here, but this much type of information is not needed in this examination for R. Okay, I have taken it from the chemistry particular book. Okay, chemistry ki books I have taken out how it is actually happening, so that if you are interested you can understand more, but it is not required guys. Okay, so just go through it once. You will be understanding biological nitrogen fixation. Now you come to the question, how they are asking the question regarding this particular line. We were just focusing upon this particular part only. So till now they have, if you will analyze, differentiate between symbiotic and asymbiotic nitrogen fixation they have asked. How does symbiotic, they are focusing upon symbiotic nitrogen fixation guys. Over here they have asked. Okay, rest once they have asked from here. ठीक है, बाकी तो उन्होंने इतना ज़्यादा नहीं फोकस किया हुआ है इस पे. ठीक है, ठीक है guys. So it was about nitrogen fixation. Now we will be understanding your this next part, losses of nitrogen in soil and nitrogen use efficiency in submerged soil. We have completed, but over here you will see two more processes happening guys. देखो, you have seen the process of nitrogen fixation. One process is happening is of nitrification, which I have told you. Nitrification is doing what? Converting nitrates and nitrites. The ammonia is converting into nitrates and nitrites. This is nitrification. And denitrification is a conversion of these nitrates and nitrites into atmospheric nitrogen. That's why the cycle will complete, na? That's how the cycle will complete. That's why you have to see this nitrification and denitrification also. Like over here, you will find nitrification is an aerobic process of ammonium ion oxidation to nitrate, nitrite, and further to nitrate. I have told you already, right? But over here you will require some bacteria. So these bacteria are basically nitrobacteria, which will converting ammonia to nitrite and nitrite to nitrate ultimately, right? So which of the bacteria are utilized over here basically? So you will be finding Nitrosomonas and Nitrosospira oxidize ammonia to nitrate. This is first step you have to remember guys. And then in the second step, in nitrate, when it will be found, Nitrobacter and Nitrococcus will be utilized. So this you have to remember for sure. This will be utilized for your prelims too. In prelims also it can be asked. Okay, in environment also you have to study these equations. So these two equations, these two steps basically make your nitrification process. Okay, now nitrification is very important. Why? Because over here you will find that because it also reduced the ammonium salts into some simpler salts over here you will be finding, right? Rest you can read this. Denitrification is basically sending back the nitrogen. So how you will do? The nitrate are converted to gas products. In this way we are losing nitrogen also, you can say. right? So study this, and over here you will get the bacteria as Pseudomonas, Paracoccus, and Bacillus over here, which are utilized like this. For example, nitrate will be converted into nitrite, and then nitrite can get converted into nitric oxide. It will go to atmosphere, nitrous oxide, it will go to atmosphere, nitrogen, atmosphere. But it can also convert to ammonia and then to atmosphere. This again you study, but after completing this lecture. Denitrification you study a bit later, because my next topic is going to be the loss of nitrogen. See, this is going to be my next topic. Losses, how losses are happening of nitrogen. Basically, they have mentioned nitrogen and they have asked multiple times the question on loss of nitrogen in soil. So we are going to study that. So let us see, guys, losses of nitrogen now. I can write over here losses of nitrogen in the soil, right? Let us understand this completely. So suppose this is our field over here. This is the field. Okay, and I'm giving you a 3D picture of a field. That means we are going a bit underground. Okay. So over here you will be seeing what? Over here you will be seeing your plant. The plant over here, guys. And plants will be having roots. Okay. These are roots, and it will be containing SSCs, soil particles you are seeing over here. Yeah, over here this is soil only you will be seeing. This is soil, this is the soil profile you will be seeing over here. And underground, what you will be seeing over here, this is your this is your underground water which keeps on flowing, and it is very deep, right? The water table you can also say. Now you have to understand that nitrogen, we are specifically talking about nitrogen, and nitrogen is present in the soil. We need nitrogen in the soil. Why? Because plant has to uptake it, and we have seen it in two forms, that is NH4 positive, NO3 negative, and NO2 negative. In these forms, nitrogen can be utilized by plants, or moreover, these are the two important forms, right? But we are trying to understand how nitrogen is getting lost. If we can understand the ways in which nitrogen is getting lost, we can control them, because then no need of chemical fertilizers we have to put over here. So first and foremost, the most important way by which nitrogen is getting lost is by the denitrification bacteria. So denitrification process you have seen over here, which is natural, and it should happen too, because it will prevent the toxicity of nitrogen. So denitrification is happening and converting it into, you have seen NO, NO2, and NO and NO2 you have seen right over here. So one is this denitrification process by which nitrogen is getting lost. Another process is by it is converting into ammonia, and this process is called as volatilization or volatilization. This we have to understand over here, that what is this process, what is the name. Then one more process I have told you, that immobilization is also happening. Immobilization, the CN ratio you try to remember, immobilization. This is also, we are seeing one more thing. Sometimes you will see nitrogen will get leached down to the below underground water, and nitrates will be coming to this underground water, and that's why you are seeing blue baby syndrome, because of the toxicity of nitrates. So fourth, you are seeing as a leaching. Fifth, you will be seeing the surface runoff. Sometimes it will be runoff from the surface, erosion will be happening. So fifth, erosion, surface runoff. So these are the most important ways in which nitrogen is getting lost: volatilization, immobilization, leaching, denitrification. These are the most important ways, and this we have to understand a little bit. Right? We will go into a depth of it. See over here, what is volatilization? Volatilization. Only the name is difficult. Volatilization. Otherwise, you must be knowing this. What is it? In normal circumstances, this is your field, right? And over here, this is your field, right? Over here, you are seeing normal condition. These are your soil particles, and under which you are having ammonia. This is present because of nitrogen fixation. This we have got ammonia or ammonium ion, you can say. Ammonia is present in the form of ammonium ion. Now in the normal condition, when there is oxygen present over here in the soil particles, you can say in the oxidized environment. Oxidized environment means oxygen is present. Pores are not filled up with water but with air, and air is containing oxygen. When oxygen is there, then you will see the process of nitrification will be happening. As I have told you, they go over here, nitrification definition. Now you focus upon simple words. Aerobic process means you need oxygen in order to take place this nitrification. And I have over here, you see, I have written over here, when ammonium ion is having oxygen present over here, then nitrification process will happening, and this ammonium ion will be getting converted to NO2 negative or NO3 negative. This is nothing but a nitrification 2 process. And your nitrococcus, nitrobacter, bacteria, you have to remember, sure, in this also, in this also. This is your job, guys, right? Now over here, what is going to change, guys? The field is same, the crop is same, but what is going to happen? Waterlogged situation. The field will be completely submerged with the water now. So over here above this, water has filled up this particular surface of soil. This is complete water filled up, or waterlogged situation, you can say. What is the after effect of this waterlogged soil? These pores of the soil particles will be filled up with by water, and this will create non-oxygen environment in the soil. You can also say it is a reduced environment. Oxygen is not present in this environment, or absence of oxygen. And when absence of oxygen is there, when oxygen is not present, you will see another situation is happening to ammonia. Now ammonium ion will not convert it to these nitrates, but rather convert to the gas, and that gas is nothing but ammonia. So ammonium ion will directly convert to this ammonia, and then ammonia will be released from this field. That's why you will see that from the submerged rice field, ammonia gas is released in huge quantities. Prelim statement: which of the gas is released in huge quantity from the submerged rice field? Ammonia. And this conversion of ammonium ion to gaseous form is known as volatilization. And volatilization is good for us or not? Not good for the soil, because ammonium we need in the form of nitrates. This have to utilized by the plants. I hope you must be understanding this. This is nothing but a volatilization. Right, next you see the immobilization, guys. Immobilization. This I have already told you, and you must have remembered that immobilization, direct in one word, is nothing but conversion of inorganic matter into organic matter. Now nitrogen is present in inorganic form in two ways: NH4 positive and NO2 negative and NO3 negative. Now if this nitrogen form, this should be there so that plant can uptake it. This is good form. But if they are getting converted into DNA, RNA, or some body parts of the microorganisms, that means it is getting converted into organic matter. This is not needed, guys. This is what immobilization is. This is not needed. And this happens when the CN ratio of a particular residue is too high. That is the problem of immobilization comes. And if I have told you the CN ratio, then you must be remembering the CN ratio. What do I mean? Suppose in this field we have given the residue of wheat, which is having 100:1 CN ratio. 100 carbon will be utilized and 1 nitrogen will be utilized. And in the field there will be bacteria present, those who will be having 4:1 CN ratio. That means you will be required 25 bacteria. That means suddenly 25 nitrogen demands will be there by the bacteria. So these wheat residue will be providing 1 nitrogen. Rest of the 24 nitrogen will be taken up by the plants itself in the soil, basically. And in the soil, nitrogen is present over here. So these bacteria will be taking up this nitrogen, causing the deficiency of nitrogen for a short time period over there, causing immobilization. Can you add this in losses of nitrogen? That loss of nitrogen happened over here. So over here you see, guys, if the CN ratio is greater than 25:1, greater than 25:1, immobilization is bound to happen. Why it will be happening, I have explained you. If the CN ratio is less than 25:1, then mineralization will be happening because demand of nitrogen will not increase suddenly. So residue with high CN ratio, you will find that their CN ratio, basically that they will be immobilization will be happening, and low CN ratio, the nitrogen will be remain there, right? So this is very important, immobilization. One process I have already told you, denitrification. This I have already explained you why denitrification happening, loss of nitrogen. This is also one more, right? So next is here, you have understood this losses is happening. Okay, rest losses you must be knowing, guys. Now you have to decrease these losses. Basically, you have to stop these losses in order to increase the nitrogen use efficiency. NUE. What do you mean by efficiency, guys? Efficiency is nothing but output by input. How much input I am giving, and by that input how much output I am generating is nothing but my efficiency. For example, now we have to understand about nitrogen use efficiency. Suppose I am adding in a field 10 kg of urea. I have to understand its utilization, that by adding 10 kg urea I am getting 100 kg production. By adding 20 kg urea I am getting 120 kg production of my rice field. This is what, this is my efficiency is increasing as I am increasing the input. So if I have to, you can understand this, if I have to increase my nitrogen use efficiency, that means this should be utilized less, or this should be decreasing, and this should be increasing. Any one of one, if I can do, that means my efficiency will ultimately increase. And we are talking about over here nitrogen use efficiency. That means yield we are obtaining and the amount of nitrogen that is getting utilized in the field, with which yield is coming. Understanding? For example, in 10 kg I was producing 100 kg output. That means my efficiency is 100 by 10, 10%. If I am saying now I am reducing my input, I will add only 5 kg. But still I am able to produce 100 kg. That means my efficiency is 20% now. That means decreasing the input, and if the output remains same, my efficiency is increasing, or I have to increase my output and input should remain constant. In that way we can increase it. But this mathematical thing will not be asked in the exam. They will be asking you about how to increase the nitrogen use efficiency basically. So over here, this is your basically nitrogen use efficiency you will find over here, guys. Okay. Nitrogen use efficiency is used to describe the efficiency of a plant in using applied or fixed nitrogen for biomass production. It is further defined as the ratio between crop yield, this is important, guys, crop yield, and the amount of nitrogen absorbed from the soil through roots or from the atmosphere through fixation by the bacteria. Very important. Alright, this is your nitrogen use efficiency. One definition you should keep with yours. Importance is it reduces economic losses, it improves the sustainable use of natural resources, it reduces pollution from nitrogen fertilizers. Nitrogen fertilizers, you see pollution is happening because of that. Soil quality is getting deprived or deteriorated, right? So this will happen less. Lower environmental impacts, lower cost will be associated with it, and higher protein you will be seeing in the grain crops. Directly you can write these example of importance of nitrogen use efficiency. The agronomic management, what you can do to increase the nitrogen use efficiency, basically what you can go for is what type of mode and rate of application you are applying nitrogen. Efficient crop rotation and sequence you can go for. Use of organic manures, green manures, and other legume you can add over here. These are the agronomic practices you can go for in order to improve your nitrogen use efficiency. Also shifting toward nitrogen intensive crops. Nitrogen intensive crops which utilize the nitrogen. Example over here, pigeon pea, substitution for rice during monsoon season in rice wheat cropping system. Means pigeon pea and wheat should be grown over here. It will improve the wheat yield and total nitrogen uptake over here. Right, efficient crop rotations we should go for. Like after growing this rice, you can go for now some legumes. Leguminous crop should be grown over here. So this should be rotated with a crop that has higher NUE basically. ठीक है. In management strategies, you can apply nitrogen application in the right time. Nitrogen fertilizers you will find. Rate of nitrogen application, how much you have to apply. Optimal rates of nitrogen fertilizers should be applied over here, and it depend upon the total nitrogen demand of the crops. So the amount of available nitrogen from these sources other than applied nitrogen, the efficiency of fertilization in order to increase plant available nitrogen you will be finding over here. Not very important, you just read this out. Okay. How you will apply, method of nitrogen application, split application. This you will not understand right now when I'll be teaching you about agronomy, the application of fertilizers, how you have to apply fertilizers. Then you will understand it in more broad way. Right now only the agri students background will be able to understand this. Split application means you have to like split the, suppose you have to add the nitrogen 10 kg over here. Now you will not add 10 kg at once, you will split it like 4 4 2, like this you will apply. Okay, so nitrogen fertilization application for increasing NUE in most of the irrigated crop generally split to 2-3 equal doses is recommended over here. Split application of nitrogen is highly desirable since crop plants take up very small amounts of nitrogen per hectare per day. Okay, that's why split application should be there. One more is there, site specific nutrient management, guys. That is also very, very important. Site specific nutrient management, or over here nitrogen management you can see. Right, so over here you can do specific location of soil, like grid soil sampling you can do. Nitrogen availability maps you have to draw. Nitrogen fertilization recommendation maps you have to draw. About this site specific SSNM we say, I'll be telling you in the next class broadly that what are the methods how you can do SSNM. This is very important, right? And it has been asked once, but I'll be telling you it in the integrated nutrient management category. Okay, so this also you can be do. Again, this is, I have told you, optimized nitrogen application. Slow release or controlled release fertilizers should be there. Site specific nutrient management, water management practices should be utilized. So these are the important things which you have to keep in mind in nitrogen use efficiency. Now, as I have told you, we have tried to complete these 3 topics. As I have told you, one time they will be asking you nitrogen fixation, one time they will be asking you nitrogen use efficiency, one time they will be asking you loss of nitrogen. So they ask this in rotation. Okay? Not every time they will be asking you nitrogen fixation. So study in that manner. Okay? And one question, only one question from here it will appear. So directly learn it in that manner only. Nitrogen efficiency, they will be asking directly nitrogen fixation, asking directly losses of nitrogen. Okay? So in this particular syllabus topic, this we have tried to cover, guys. This is completed. Now you have to study it from the books too and make it make the content the way UPSC wanted, right? Fixed 250-300 words you have to create it in the PYQ manner. Yeah, so this is completed now. And now move on to your next topic, that is about phosphorus and potassium, guys. Efficient phosphorus and potassium use you will be understanding once you understand that how phosphorus and potassium is coming to the soil. Then you will be in like similar way, similar approach. I have told you nitrogen, how it is coming because of nitrogen cycle, nitrogen fixation, losses, how it is happening, and how we can improve the losses. Okay, now we will be understanding in the similar manner. Though they have not written elaboratively over here, but we will understand in a similar manner. Phosphorus cycle, potassium cycle, and then how we can utilize them efficiently. That means somewhere they are also getting lost. That's why we are adding NPK fertilizers. Right, so this becomes a very important tool. Okay, guys, let us see this. This is your phosphorus cycle, guys. First of all, we are going to understand about phosphorus. Phosphorus elemental form P3115 atomic number. This is phosphorus. Phosphorus, first of all, why it is important? Phosphorus is very important because it forms again the basic structure of our whole body. Of plants also, of humans also, of animals also. Because DNA आपने ऐसे देखा है, this DNA में these lines are nothing but nitrogenous bases. That's why I was saying nitrogen is important. This you will understand in a very depth in paper 2. Don't worry about it. And देखो, these are lines are nitrogenous bases, ATGC. No need to remember right now. But this backbone, this particular red part on which this nitrogen bases are attached, this is made up of phosphate, guys, sugar phosphates. So that's why phosphorus is very important in the basic structure of formation of body parts. Also, these are also very important from the point of view of energy transfer from one place to another. And another importance, you can see it from your particular PPT only, which I have given in the last class. I have given the phosphorus uses, right? So phosphorus is of utmost importance because of these primary things which the phosphorus is doing. Now the question comes, now the question should come to your mind that how phosphorus is basically uptaken by the plant. Again, phosphorus is present in what form in the nature? Like nitrogen is present in N2. Phosphorus is present in H2PO5. In this form, phosphorus is present. But in soil, I am talking about underground. How in the soil particle this phosphorus is present? So this must be present in some what form? In the inorganic form. So over here you will see it in the form of H2PO4 negative or HPO4 2 negative. In these two forms, I have already told you that phosphorus is present in the soil and then it will be taken up by the plants in this format. And this we have to understand basically. Okay, so phosphorus cycle, you will see how phosphorus is coming to the soil. First of all, phosphorus is coming to the soil by the weathering processes of large mountains, rocks, because in rocks you are finding phosphate group or phosphate in the rocks you will be finding, and it will getting weathered into the soil. Okay, so weathered into the soil and again it will be coming into the soil, guys. Then it will be taken up by the plants, eaten up by humans. In humans body also phosphorus will come, then they will dead and decay, and because of that again that will be coming. Sometimes they will be going into the rivers also, water bodies also, right? Right now this diagram is very chaotic. No need to understand this right now, guys. Everything you will be understanding. What is this? Immobilization, mineralization, sorption, adsorption, dissolution, precipitation. You will understand each and everything. Don't worry about it right now. Simply use understand. Suppose this is my field. These are mountains over here. This is a river flowing over here. Yeah. So what is happening? Weathering from these mountains into the soil. Soils are utilizing, or plants are utilizing phosphate from the soil. Humans are enjoying phosphorus. Then this is dead decay happening. Again it will be going into this. Sometimes it will be coming into the river bodies also, and they will be forming sedimentation over the millions year. They will again be forming mountains, and this cycle will continue, right? This is not what we require in this lecture. Phosphorus cycle is this, but phosphorus cycle from the agricultural point of view is different. Now we will be understanding it. Okay, don't lose focus, otherwise it will become very difficult for you to understand. Okay, see, phosphorus will be present in soil in two formats. First of all, one is in organic form, microorganisms body form, right? Second is in inorganic form. And this is what we require in the soil. Phosphorus in soil we are talking about. Inorganic form means like proteins, enzymes in the microorganism body. What are these? These are nothing but esters of orthophosphoric acid. No need to remember. No need to remember, guys. Okay, orthophosphoric acid. For example, in acetyl phosphate, it is a type of ester. No need to remember this. Okay, but it is present in the microorganism body in this form, esters form. Also in organic form you will be finding, when in paper 2 I will be telling you about the cell membranes. So these cell membranes are made up of phospholipids. Again phosphorus is coming over here. Phospholipids. Right. Then already I have told you in nucleic acids are nothing but DNA, RNA. Phosphate group is present. In these format you will be finding phosphates in the foils in the bodies of microorganisms. Okay. So this you have understood, guys. Now this organic form will only convert into inorganic form, and this we have already understood it as a mineralization. And if inorganic is converting into organic, then this is immobilization, nothing else. Now in the plants in soil, phosphorus we use it in the form of H2PO4 negative and HPO4 2 negative. In these two format we use the Originally, how it is present? H3PO4 in this phosphate, orthophosphoric acid. This will be converting into this organic form, and sometimes into PO4 3 negative also. Right? Understanding. But plants do not take this particular form also. Only these two forms are taken up by the plant. Now over here, you will find that pH plays a very important factor in the fixation of phosphorus, that plants will utilize phosphorus, guys. Now understand this. Plants utilize it in the form of H2PO4 negative, HPO4 2 negative. This we have seen. Now it is not very easy that plants will directly utilize it in this form, right? There are mediums. For example, pH I'll be telling you. And if the pH is acidic, what is going to happen? If the pH is neutral, what is going to happen? And if the pH is alkaline, what is going to happen? And what pH is important for the fixation of phosphorus? P fixation ke liye neutral pH is very important. Because if acidic pH will happen, that means pH is getting down below than 7. But you will find that Fe positive, Fe2 positive or Fe3 positive will be there. Aluminum 3 positive will be there. Fe3 positive or 2 positive will be there, right, in the soil. That's why we are saying acidic, presence of these acidic cations. So that will basically combine with these H2PO4 negative. And what they form? They form basically insoluble precipitates. Precipitation will be happening of this phosphate group. Insoluble precipitation. Precipitates. Chunks will be formed. Fe3PO4, AlPO4, like this. Aluminum phosphate, iron phosphate, they will be formed. Right. But sometimes what happens that aluminum and iron is present in oxides form, like this, ALO, FeO, ALO. So this is the presence of iron and aluminum in oxides form. And when oxides of iron and aluminum are present in the soil, then sorption happen. And this sorption is nothing but adsorption. Adsorption. Not absorption. Absorb and adsorb are two different things. If this is a particle and these particles connected with surface, this is adsorption. If this particle has consumed this particle, this is absorption, completely absorbed. We are talking about adsorption is happening. Because then FeO will combine with this H2PO4 negative and they will be forming one compound over here. That's why I am telling you adsorption. Now I ask you that if my phosphorus, this form has been converted into insoluble precipitate or adsorption has happened, is this particular thing available to plants? Not at all. That means you have to increase the pH in order to free this particular anion. What you will be doing? You will be increasing the pH and it will become neutral. And when it will be neutral, it will be utilized by the plants. Now the problem is the soil does not remain neutral for very long. It will either come to acidic, sometimes it will come to alkaline. And as soon as it will come to alkaline, this is also creating a problem. Because in alkaline medium, now you have the basic cations as Ca2+. And this Ca2+ will attach with this HPO4 2 negative over here, guys. And it will be forming your calcium phosphate. It is also a precipitate. That means again availability of these anions will become less over here. Adsorption will be happening. Apatite will be forming. Apatite is a type of phosphate mineral. That means neutral pH is very, very necessary. And neutral pH, we cannot make the soil neutral for a very long time period. That's why we have to keep adding phosphorus fertilizer also. Otherwise, phosphorus is present in large quantities in the soil, but it is not present in the plant uptake form. I hope you must be understanding, guys. Now you understand this particular diagram. Soluble P means H2PO4 negative in these two form, plant will uptaking. But what happens if I am saying that condition is becoming acidic, then you will be finding precipitation. Precipitation, calcium phosphate, iron phosphate, manganese phosphate, aluminum phosphate forming secondary compounds. Now when these precipitates again dissolved into the soil, this is called dissolution only. That means again coming up of soluble phosphorus and it will be taken up by plant. Sometimes adsorption will be happening with the clays, iron and aluminum oxides over here, ALO, FeO, which I have told you, carbonates will be forming. This is also not required because this is forming again precipitates only. And sometimes desorption will be happening over the period of time. And over here you will be seeing mineralization and immobilization because of C:P ratio. CN ratio we were seeing, similar is C:P ratio. Sometimes mineralization, sometimes. So immobilization is not required for in the soil because it will remove phosphorus. Mineralization is required, it will give phosphorus to the soil. So if I ask you what are the ways in which phosphorus is getting lost from the soil, guys, tell me. So you can say, first of all, very easy runoff. Second, what you will say that precipitation, adsorption and immobilization. What is adding plant phosphorus addition is happening because of mineralization, desorption and dissolution. Now you see this particular diagram. I hope this is also clear. Very important, very important, guys. This you have to understand. I hope this is easily understandable now. Okay. So what you are seeing, the factors related to phosphorus fixation, soil pH plays a role. Now you read it out. Rest points are very easy to understand. Okay, if soil clay particles are more, you will see more absorption will be having. Soil organic matter, you will see soil moisture, you see. Just read this out, guys. One you will be finding while reading any textbook, labile P. Labile P means available phosphorus form, HPO4 negative, H2PO4 negative. Non-labile P means the phosphorus is present in either sorption or precipitates. Means it is not readily available in the soil. That's why labile and non-labile is the words, the terminologies you will be seeing. Non-labile, right? Here, guys, now you understand about the potassium, guys. Potassium. Okay, potassium molecular formula K. Now, first of all, importance of potassium. Importance of potassium, you will be finding it in the form of, first of all, enzyme activator. What do you mean by enzyme activator? The enzymes needed in the process of respiration, photosynthesis and other biochemical processes. The enzyme needed in the respiration, photosynthesis, biochemical processes, which we have to see in paper number 2 elaboratively. So the enzymes needed for that are activated by this potassium only. Very important role that means. Second, for the translocation of food and water also you will needed this potassium. Third, it helps in disease resistant of the plant. That means it increases the immunity of the plant. Fourth, you will be finding it in the opening and closing of stomata. Closing and opening of stomata over here. This you will be understanding in the paper 2. Over there again I'll be telling you about these things. So these are the importance of potassium you will see over here, guys. But more than that, we have to understand about the potassium, how it is available to the plants, how it comes to the soil. Again, potassium cycle also you have to understand. So potassium is utilized by the plants in K positive, simple, right? In K positive, potassium is being utilized. Okay, guys. So now you understand basically your potassium, right? Potassium, let me write like this. Potassium cycle also I'll be telling you. So potassium, so it is present in few forms. Unlike phosphorus, you will see potassium in a bit different way. It is present in mineral form, and the most potassium is present in your rocks. Minerals means your feldspar, your muscovite. These are the type of minerals in which potassium is present in huge quantity, like 98% potassium you will see over here. But this is not readily available in the soil. This is present, will be slowly released by the process of weathering. So this is not utilized by the plants indirectly, or in the soil it will not be in huge quantity. It is in the mineral form. In the soil you will be forming potassium. You will be seeing potassium in three forms. One is exchangeable potassium. Another is non-exchangeable potassium, and third is potassium in soil solution. Now, what do you think? Potassium in soil solution is K positive, and this K positive is utilized by the plants. So this is a labile or labile potassium. This is the utilizable form. But most of the times, potassium remains in non-exchangeable form and exchangeable potassium form. What is this basically? What is non-exchangeable and exchangeable? Now, potassium has a link with these clay particles, guys, silicate clay matters. Now, potassium ion sometimes releasing from the mineral form sometimes gets stuck in between these layers because of their size, because of any reason. You will find that in between, you will see they will get stuck, and when they stuck, they become non-exchangeable potassium. But sometimes, rather than stucking in between them, these potassium ion stuck to the surface or attached to the surface. This is adsorption. Attached to the surface of the clay, SCM, clay particles, this becomes your exchangeable potassium because anytime they can be released in the soil solution. So exchangeable potassium can anytime be released in the soil solution, and this becomes like sometimes they will be fluctuating. Sometimes it will be exchangeable, sometimes in the soil solution. Understanding, guys? So these three forms you try to understand first of all: non-exchangeable, exchangeable, and potassium in soil solution. Whenever we talk about potassium, your mind should say exchangeable and non-exchangeable we should talk about. Okay? Now see this beautiful diagram over here and you will understand everything. K positive soil solution में present है. But sometimes I have told you that first of all you understand how potassium is coming. Potassium can come from plant residues, minerals. Plant residues, how? Mineralization is the process. Mineral fertilizers, they can come from. And minerals, but this is a very slow process, weathering slow, see over here. It come to the soil solution, but we cannot depend upon this mineral weathering process, right? So how potassium is coming then? Potassium can also come in the form of this exchangeable potassium is converting into this soil, and this is desorption. Understanding? So sometimes fixed potassium is also released. Fixed potassium is released. To understand it in a better way, let me tell you this. Okay, potassium you have to see in these forms. Potassium either will be present in mineral form, and if weathering directly going to the soil solution. Sometimes not going to the soil solution, it gets stuck in between. So we call them fixed potassium. It does not mean that it will not release. It will release, and sometimes it get released too. That's why you are seeing the arrow over here like this, soil solution. It will be taken up by plants. And sometimes it is very readily exchangeable potassium. So exchangeable potassium is active more. It is a rapid process. Everything else is slow process. So more exchangeable potassium positions we need over here. Right? Because of this desorption will be happening, because it will detach from here and go to the soil solution. When adsorption will be happening, it will remove from the soil and attach to clay particles. Understand it very carefully. Understanding now these three types, mineral, fixed, and this is going to the soil solution, plant will uptake. Sometimes runoff and crop harvest will be taken up, so leaching will be happening. This is also how potassium is being taken out from the soil. So losses over here you will be seeing, and inputs over here you are seeing in this form. Very easy to understand, guys. Okay, so this chart you have to remember in potassium cycle. Okay, guys. Yes, beta. So I guess this has been stuck over here, but this is your potassium cycle. I cannot return to the, let me check. So this is about your efficient phosphorus and potassium use, guys. Okay, over here phosphorus fixation, potassium use you have understood. Now how you will do, or how you will efficiently utilize it? By minimizing the losses. and losses, how potassium is getting lost, you must be understanding. So this has been a long lecture. You have to at least give again repetitive revision of these particular lectures through the books also, through the PPT also. If you are having any confusion, you can ask me. Okay, so this long topic we have completed over here, guys. This is already completed over here. Okay, this is also completed. Now in the next class, we will be focusing upon integrated nutrient management, some principles of this, and biofertilizer. Okay, these three aspects in the next class I'll be focusing upon. And this last particular thing we will be, or it, you can wait for this in agroecology. When agroecology unit 1 we will be doing, we will cover this particular aspect over here, because this is talking about GHGs. I'll explain GHGs over there and how soil factors affecting these GHGs. Right, guys? So this has been the long lecture. You have to give more time towards these particular topics, guys. Thank you so much. I'll be meeting you in the next class.